Mark Johnson defined metaphor as a mode of understanding by which we project patterns from one domain of experience to structure another domain of a different kind. It's in this spirit that I offer you the USS Iowa, by length the largest battleship ever built. There were a total of 4 Iowa-class battleships. Importantly, all have been decommissioned. The USS Georgia is an Ohio-class submarine and by contrast is as capable as the Iowa, despite being much smaller. There are currently 18 Ohio-class subs in active service. At some point in the middle of the 20th century, it evidently occurred to folks that successfully executing military conflicts in the future would require more submarine and less battleship. By 1992, the lone remaining U.S. active battleship, the USS Missouri, was decommissioned, thus ending the 100-year reign of naval supremacy of the battleship. Speaking of metaphors, here's another. At the top left, a machine whose sole purpose is to sort with speed, accuracy, and efficiency. At bottom right, a cultivator whose sole purpose is to help crops thrive. Keep these metaphors in mind as well. So I spent almost 3 decades now as an educator, teaching in and leading a diverse range of schools, large and small, rural, urban, domestic, international, established, and brand new. In reflecting on those experiences, I remarked to a group of colleagues in October of 2016 that the institutions we were leading at that time were not unlike battleships, useful for a particular purpose, but ultimately too expensive and clumsy to be sustained. Consider how something as basic as the nature of employment has changed over the past 20 years. If high schools could move away from sorting, a function which we have executed with brutal efficiency for quite some time, and towards cultivating, the world of the present and of the future was eager for the creativity and energy that young people had to offer. It so happens that around that same time, a group of individuals from the Champaign-Urbana area had convened to talk about starting a new independent high school without institutional deference to the habits and practices that had been established in the past. And from those conversations emerged Academy High, a nonprofit independent high school founded on the belief that by nurturing students to develop adventurous minds, bold spirits, and compassionate hearts, they could change the world. I was heading an independent school in Georgia at the time, but when I got the call asking if I was interested in helping to start my 3rd independent high school, I was ready. There are 2 distinctions that make a school independent. The first is governance. A volunteer board of trustees sets policies and hires 1 employee, and that's me, to execute the mission. The second is finances. An independent school receives no government funding and must generate the revenue it needs by providing a service or compelling philanthropic support. There are almost as many different kinds of schools as there are apples, of which there are 7,500. Did you know that? I didn't know that until this evening. But it might surprise you to know that Academy High is the only independent high school in Champaign-Urbana. The foundation of our approach to education is captured by the 6 C's. We don't take credit for developing the list, nor do we assert that it's exhaustive or complete, but we're proud of the way these elements are expressed and manifest in a real school with living, breathing students. The fantastic proliferation of technology that makes the present moment the best possible time in history to be a learner does not itself guarantee that anyone will actually learn anything. We're mindful of this, and we're careful not to ignore the importance of student agency and engagement in every aspect of the school, including the decision to attend Academy High. One example of the intersection of technology and student engagement is our participation in what's called the Hybrid Learning Consortium, a global network of over 60 like-minded schools who share faculty virtually to offer courses to students at any member school that would otherwise not be possible. Modern human migration, engineering and the design process, visual culture through photography are examples. Among the many novel components of our developing program is indexed tuition, whereby the amount of full tuition is adjusted for each family in proportion to their capacity to pay. By adopting this approach, we hope to make an Academy High education affordable for every student who wants to be a part of our learning community. One will still find the traditional elements of a high school program at Academy High, Our academic core features courses in math, science, English, writing, social science, and foreign language, but also electives or modules in music recording and production, sports analytics, epistemology, augmented reality, and population dynamics. Our pioneer class of 9 freshmen attended the first day of school on August 16, 2017, and immediately became perennial upperclassmen, the only class in school history that will never have a group of older students to look up to. 1 year later, on August 15, 2018, we had grown to 24 9th and 10th grade students, serving young people from as far away as Muncie and Monticello, and 60% of whom had attended public schools prior to matriculating at McAdamy High. We'll open for our 3rd year on August 14th of this year with approximately 40 students. So to recap briefly, if you want to start a brand new high school, I'd encourage you to think about building a submarine, not a battleship. Metaphorically, of course. It will take a dedicated, committed group of volunteers, along with an energetic, spirited group of students and talented, visionary faculty. But if you pull it off, you just might have a hand in helping to change the world. And that's not something that everyone can say every day. I welcome you to visit us at 2302 Fox Drive in Champaign if you'd like to see for yourself what it is that we're up to at Academy High. I'm there all the time and would be happy to greet you and show you around. Thank you very much.